So I just set up my banner thing that I kind of like in my office on the wall in front of my desk. And that way maybe it will be more pleasing to sit in here and do the work I need to do. And I say need because I'm feeling like I don't really want to be settled for these next few months or maybe up to a year. So I'm thinking about ways to wander and also doing the practical things like my car needs an oil change. I really need a haircut. And yeah, continue to talk to myself. I wrote a blog post. I want to write some more blog posts and then start figuring out how to sort of fix the blog up a little bit, because I don't know how long I can last living here. Last time I lasted 2 months before I went downhill, so I might only have 2 months. And I do only kind of have 2 months because it just so happens that it coincides with I have April, I have May, and then crap is going to start in June. So I need to be somewhere safer, where it's safe to be in a state of fear and anger and guilt and shame and terror, and not have people around me that I'm going to project onto. It'll make it worse and it'll make it longer. So I feel some urgency to get prepared for all this sort of stuff. I sent an email to a place that I might want to stay. I was in the shower and thinking about getting an RV or a van or something, which I've talked about before, but I see the necessity of it more right now, and it is a good time to do it. So I'm going to make the last bit of March and April kind of about cleansing. I'm going to do ketogenic diet, see if I can lose like 10 pounds of fat, and then that way when I do start being more active outside, I will feel lighter and it'll be more fun to do so. And I also made, just now, I made some knockout packs. So I took these things that I bought from Dollarama, and I don't know if you can see, but the first one is Seroquel, 25 milligrams, and then Trazodone, which also knocks me out, 25 milligrams. And then in the bottom, I put stuff that I never take, which is lorazepam, a 1 milligram sublingual, as well as 1 milligram swallow. And I also put in Zopiclone, because I have these in old bottles of pills, but I haven't taken these for years, probably. I don't know, I probably took some in the hospital. I probably took some lorazepam in the hospital in 2016, April, but I've never taken them at home, really. So I thought to do this because if I'm taking the Seroquel daily, it might have less of an effect. So I might need something stronger to knock me out if I have a crisis, when it is the major crisis. So I made one for beside my bed and one for my purse. And there's a blank space, which I don't know what I'll put there. But then I made a supplement knockout pack, and this stuff worked the other day when I had that scary stuff happen. I think I took probably a couple of tryptophan. I took probably 5 sunflower lecithin, and I don't know if I took more melatonin, probably not, but there's melatonin in here as well as zinc. And I say I might have taken the zinc and the tryptophan because I don't remember. I was kind of out of it, but I do remember taking the sunflower lecithin. And that was enough to put me back to sleep after this scary shit happened in the night for like a few minutes. So this is option number 1. I'm going to make another one of these and maybe a couple others, I don't know. So these are sort of portable. And there was other stuff I wanted to talk about, which I can talk about later. But yeah, I'll talk about it later. But right now I'm just preparing. Okay, yeah. Oh, so I found my little list of the other things I want to talk about. And not yesterday, but the day before, I think it was, I took inulin. I bought a thing of inulin powder, which feeds gut microbiota. and it made me feel so barfy and gross. And by the end of the day, I was crying, listening to Celine Dion with earphones on, listening to her Titanic performance at the billboards, as well as her version of Ave Maria. And I was just like crying and laying there and feeling like depressed. So that even could be a clue that right now I don't have a good gut microbiome, and I fed the bad ones, I think. So I think by doing ketogenic for a while, that will starve out the bad ones because they feed on sugar. And then I'll try the inulin powder again in a smaller dose at some future date. Another thing I want to try again is that haritaki powder when I get a little bit more cleansed out. And it could just be I'm just in a really sensitive state. I was in California, it was pristine and beautiful. I'm hypersensitive, so everything contacting me in this environment just builds up, and then it translates into a gesture of being sensitive, like crying, and it's just a sign I'm sensitive. I guess no big deal, I can cry it out if I need to. And it's such a stark contrast from being there to being here. And the weird thing was that I was listening to Ave Maria by Celine Dion, and in the comments it said, I'm surprised this version has lower views than Beyonce's. And then the next day I was joking with my dad. Well, I have this joke with him that he needs new underwear and something about poop streaks. But anyway, we got on joking about how maybe we could sell celebrity poop streak underwear. It was just a joke. And then he said, oh, well, it could be a thing. I'll trade you 2 Celines for 1 Beyonce. And it was weird because that's what I was watching last night was Celine and Beyonce. I didn't watch the Beyonce one, but I was thinking Beyonce because she had the other video of Ave Maria. So it's so obvious. I think I don't need more proof that consciousness is so connected, that it's one. But I need to realize what I need to do because of that fact. So if I'm here and feeling negative because I'm feeling negative in this space, that's what's going to respond to me here. So I need a space that doesn't feel negative. One thing I'm looking into is that with disability, one can get free camping in BC parks. So I looked it up, and you can stay for 2 weeks max. I already got my release of information, and I might need to print more of them, but I might book some camping. We'll see. We'll see if I can work a bit in April, but I have lots to do, and I really need to focus on doing it and not getting lazy and losing sight of what I need to do. So that's it for now. Maybe I'll talk a little more